In 40 years, life has been my greatest teacher. Through many beautiful experiences and challenges, love and heartbreak, I've gathered many lessons that have shaped me into the woman I am today. And this is a personal video that I want to do for all of you ladies in your 20s, in your 30s, or in your 40s and beyond, because I want to share with you very important and valuable lessons that I have learned and that I have loved to know before. But maybe this video will help you to not make the same mistakes or to prevent some bad or negative things from happening in your 20s or in your 30s and to feel better. That's why I recommend you to watch until the end, because my learnings and tips will be from all areas of life. Career, relationships, health, appearance, friendships. I will cover them all. So let's talk, woman to woman. Learning number 1. Don't stress about little things concerning your appearance or body. In my 20s and also in my 30s, I worried excessively about my flaws, about the things that I had that were my personal problems with regard to my appearance. For example, in my youth, I was very prone to eczema, dry or red patches on the skin, and I was so conscious about that every little dry spot that I saw in my face worried me so much, and I stressed so much about those things that it put my body in fight or flight, and then the things got worse. I also always had big problems due to an autoimmune disease of my thyroid, Hashimoto's. I always had problems with my hair, so hair loss, etc. And I still have those problems, and my hair is still worrying me. But today I'm not like destroying myself because of that. I'm not stressing myself. I know that there are things that I cannot do anything about. Of course, I'm trying my best, but at some point I have to accept that I have a condition or that this is a weak point in my body, and I'm using the tools that we have as women, like extensions, there are wigs, there are many helpful tools, or with regard to your skin, there is great skincare, there is makeup, and there are beautiful clothes. So there is so much that we can do as women to enhance our positive aspects. Because I know that there are many women, and especially many young women, who worry a lot about their appearance, who are not happy with their body, with their figure, whatever it is, anything, any body part that you have a problem with that worries you. It took me years to understand that this is not so important as I thought it was. And that the more I focused on it, the worse it became. So let me tell you one thing, one truth. You are a whole package. Your attractiveness is not determined by one little flaw or by some minor things or by one body part even. Attractiveness is a combination of grooming, style, your scent, your voice, your posture. Make the best of yourself. So my tip is to concentrate and focus on your beautiful parts, on what is beautiful about you, and emphasize this. Dress nicely, do what you have control over. And the things that you have no control over, like specific health conditions or skin conditions or even body conditions that you have no control over, accept them and make the best out of your whole package. Everyone has their own insecurities, and remember that most people don't care about you. Most people care about themselves. They are more worried and concerned about their pimple that they have discovered than your eczema or acne. So I'm not telling you to accept whatever condition you have. Do what you can. I also did that. But don't stress yourself even more. Don't worry about the opinion of others. Focus on your positive aspects. Don't play the flaws. Don't focus on them. don't give them any big energy, and then it will be good and you will feel and be attractive. Now we come to another area of life in which I wish I have put much more emphasis on in my younger years, in my 30s or in my 20s, and that's tip number 2. Network is everything. And I'm exaggerating now a little bit with saying that it is everything, but I really found that the people you know in your life, and I don't refer to social networks I refer to actual connections in life. The relationships you build will shape your opportunities in every area you can think of. Your career, your social life, romance, also with regard to jobs. You can have the best education. I mean, maybe also depends on the area you are educated in or you have studied. That's of course also important, but let's say it is an area where it is a lot about network, about people you know, and where there are not that many jobs available. Your network will determine if you get the chance, no matter how talented you are. That's the cruel reality. And even in romance, your network will determine what kind of people you will get to know. So I don't mean to say, or I don't want you to become like opportunistic, because this is also not what I'm referring to, and it has also nothing to do with who your friends, with your close friends or your family. No, this is something else. Those are people that are close to your heart, that you trust, etc. It doesn't matter if they are beneficial to you or not. They are beneficial to your soul, to your heart. But I mean the people that you just be open in your daily life, be open to network and to make connections. That's what I mean. And as I am an introvert and I was originally very, very shy, and I still am, I simply totally avoided this networking aspect. And now with 40, I realized how important that is, because in the last years I did make some connections and I had incredible opportunities through that. And also I met interesting people. It's not always that people have to benefit you in some way, but it is also beautiful to maybe make new friendships. So my tip is to be mindful with your time and who you invest time in, and to focus on people that uplift you rather than people who drain you. And I mean in your social life. Your network can open doors to experiences and opportunities you'd never access alone. Like it or not, this is how it is. With 40, I also realized that life is not just pink. But I mean, there are some things that we simply have to accept as reality and to work with it and make the best of it. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's go on to the learning or tip number 3. Very important. That's from the area of interpersonal relationships and friendships. Don't overshare with the wrong people. My problem always has been that I have been overtly honest, open and transparent with all kinds of people. Not only with my friends, relationship, family, but also even with strangers or people I just met. I have learned that to moderate myself now when I'm meeting new people and not be overtly open and honest. And the truth here is that not everyone has good intentions. Unfortunately, some people misuse personal information, feelings that you shared or opinions against you out of different reasons. So I would first of all recommend you to be cautious with people you get to know newly. So people that you don't know for years, that you have not known in different situations, etc. Second, listen to your gut feeling. If those people give you a strange gut feeling, be careful. Don't overshare in the beginning. Give it some time. And also be careful of cultural or religious differences, because out of my experiences, I love all kinds of cultures and I'm super open. My friends are international, but because I am very active in a very international, intercultural area, I can tell you that you have to be careful, because sometimes those cultural or religious differences can lead people to irrational actions. This with regard to being overly honest or oversharing. So cherish your loyal friends who have proven their trust over time, and it is always better to have a few good friends than many superficial or fake ones or whatever. Save those connections for your network and don't overshare with them. And share your deeper feelings and opinions only with your trusted friends. Now comes a learning that has to do with your appearance, or with age also, with femininity. And that's a finding that might also interest many of you who are afraid of getting older. Fact is, you don't lose your charms after 30. This is simply a lie. Women do not become invisible after 30. Women never become invisible. At least certain kinds of women. We will come to that later, but certainly not after 30. So all of you who are like afraid to become 30, the best things that have happened to me after 30. I think this is also something that is promoted a little bit by insecure men on the internet, especially by men who are like hiding their faces between some avatars and commenting under some red pill videos, or some gurus who are earning a lot of money with the insecurity of those men who are not even in our worst dreams, the kinds of men that we would like to have in our lives. This is basically not based on facts, because I know from real life and also my friends and other women that it is not like that. If you are a woman who cares for herself, who is feminine, who nurtures her mind, her soul, her body, a woman who is confident and puts effort in herself to be your best feminine self with regard to grooming style, you will ensure that you stay desirable. But what is true is that, of course, let's say the opportunities or the quantity of, for example, men, because when we are now talking about the romantic area, the quantity of men gets smaller, but then it also shifts from quantity to quality. And because you get more confident, and most women are really in their prime, in their 30s, you also look at different things and you don't accept specific behaviors anymore that you accepted when you were in your 20s. You will have different standards when you get past 30, or maybe you already have them in your 20s. That's good for you. But what I wanted to say is that those things change. And I also think that the women who feel they have become, like, let's say, invisible, I think those women have often lost their inner light. Maybe have stopped putting effort in certain areas of their lives or in themselves, or let insecurities take over. For now, if you are here on my channel and you are watching my videos and following the tips, your light will always shine and you will never lose your charms. And if you are one of the few truly feminine women that are left in this society, for now a woman like this is still a rarity. And also there is a man for every preference. And as a feminine and classy woman, definitely over 30, but I would say that even over 40 or 50 or more, you'll always stand out. And that's what makes the difference in the end. And now I will continue with point number 5. Prioritize your health early to look younger later. Poor healthy habits in your 20s will make you look much older later. And they can lead to premature aging. What also leads to premature aging, I will tell you later. But first of all, for example, I have never smoked. I always avoided smoking. Sometimes I drink socially, but never like to the extent of being drunk that I forget everything. And I have always been a dancer, so I have always danced. Never done a lot of heavy sports, but I have danced, so I had the movement. And I think this is all like very contributing to a healthy lifestyle. But if I would be 30 again, then I would have started much earlier with specific things. For example, I would have started earlier with a longevity diet. So really eating for my body with purpose, really eating a lot of good things that are good for skin and good for everything. I would have started earlier with my skincare. Actually, you should start earlier with that. I mean, in my case, everything is okay. Maybe because I haven't seen the sun that much, unfortunately. But I would start with that earlier. And also, I would have started earlier with face exercises. I just started recently. And I really believe in those things, that they can prevent your skin from sagging and your muscles and everything in your face. And I'm doing it now, but I would have started with it earlier. Besides that, I haven't done anything, and I think that what ages you the most, or what in general ages a woman the most, is stress. Stress is number one, so avoid stress at all costs, or find ways to balance stress. Emotional stress is horrible. What has aged me the most is emotional stress, which I could have avoided, but we all make mistakes. Sometimes we suffer more than is good for us, out of love or out of other things in the future. And now in my 40s, I have no room for emotional stress anymore. So unless it is something family related that we cannot avoid, we have to cope with it, of course, and we have to find ways to stay calm. But every stress that you can avoid with toxic people, with men that don't behave right towards you, with colleagues or friends that even stress you or are toxic, or even family members that maybe you have toxic family members. I mean, everything is possible. Try to get away from that. Because I can tell you, you will age with stress the most. Stress is bad for our health and for our feminine nervous system. It is much worse for us women than it is for men because of the hormones. Their hormones react differently to stress due to our roots. Where men were hunting, they were often in danger by animals, etc., fighting against them, and this adrenaline that they got, it was actually not harming them. But we as women, our nervous system is and there are many studies about that. The women's hormonal system is very sensitive to specific kinds of stress. It's very bad for their health. That's why try everything to balance stress, meditate, learn techniques, avoid bad, toxic people, things that are stressing you, that are not good for you. Be mindful about yourself. Prioritize your health and your peace. I wish I have known that earlier, or put more priority to that. Now, point number 6 is my personal recommendation from my personal experience. This is maybe something that might not apply to all of you because it has to do with family. As you age, you will notice, and this is what happened to me now that I'm 40, that parents and grandparents grow older. They're getting older, they might face health issues, and it made me realize that those people that I love so much, that I have always taken for granted when I was younger, they will not be around forever. If you live far away, like we all, or many of us do, it depends on where you live or where you work, but many of us nowadays don't live at the same place where their family lives or their parents. Still try to spend time with them as much as you can. And if you cannot be there locally, try to call or make video calls and stay in contact, spend quality time with them. Because a healthy family relationship provides irreplaceable love and support. They will always be your closest persons, if you want it or not. If anything happens, they will be the ones who care about you, and maybe also your closest friends. But family is still something different, so I would recommend you to cherish your family while you can, because you might regret not nurturing those relationships enough later on, when it's too late. If you have toxic relatives, prioritize your peace, of course. And now I come to my learning and tip number 7. And this is about relationships and about love. And you might disagree with me on that. But if you do, let's agree on disagreeing. This might be a bit controversial, and it is my own experience. My opinion is, with regard to relationships, love is not enough. Love, attraction, and romance alone doesn't guarantee a successful relationship. I have learned many valuable life lessons. First of all, women function differently than men. We as women have much more to lose in a relationship, and it is like that. For most men, love and attraction is enough, but we as women, as we have to lose so much, we should be more rational and very careful in our decisions. Because when we decide just mainly upon feelings and upon butterflies in our stomach, or maybe appearance, we might regret that later. I would even go so far as recommending you to choose your life partner based on how they treat you, on their actions and on their behavior, much more than on pure butterflies or feelings. Those butterflies will eventually fly away and attraction will fade, and what is left for you as a woman will determine your happiness in a relationship. Feeling safe, feeling cherished, feeling valued, respected and cared for. If you have all of that at once, plus you have a very attractive partner and all the butterflies, lucky you. If it is not like that, you should at least prioritize the values, because this is what will be sustainable. And I also am of the opinion that true love will come if someone is good to you. Of course, there must be a base attraction, so you should not be repelled by anyone, and there should be a chemistry between you and the person you choose to be your life partner. But what I want to say is that you shouldn't put so much emphasis on those parts and rather put emphasis on the character of the person, how they behave, how they treat you, and if this is compatible with you. Because recently, I will tell you, because I'm doing a lot of, I'm reading a lot, and I have a lot of teachers also, and I'm doing online courses. There is one person who has given a really good analogy. I will translate it now into English because it's difficult to find the right words, but basically there are two kinds of people, and this also applies to women, of course. There are small glasses and there are big glasses. Let's call it like that. It's actually a different word, a different analogy, but what is meant is that there are people who will have a very small capacity for you, emotionally and in their behavior and everything. And then there will be the big glasses who will pour into you, who will answer immediately. They will not make you wonder, they will not make you wait. They will just answer when it's appropriate. They will not make you wait for hours, for days, be inconsistent or communicate wrongly or be late or disrespect your feelings. They will simply pour into you. And the small glasses doesn't mean that they are not able to love someone. Maybe this is love for them. But if you are a big glass and you have chosen a small glass as your partner, there will always be a conflict, and also vice versa. So if you are a big glass, you have to choose a big glass. Otherwise, you will never be happy unless you accept that the small glass has so little capacity to pour into you, and you simply accept to live with that. So I hope you understand what I mean. It's really hard to explain in short, but in the end it comes down to compatibility and to those actions, those specific things that make someone compatible to you, with you or not. And that's very independent, or that can be very independent from superficial things like even chemistry, but also appearance or wealth, things like that. So now I come to the second point. I know that many women who are in this feminine niche, we are traditional women and we also like a masculine, successful man, and there is nothing wrong with that, but avoid being blinded by superficial traits. The fact that a man is, for example, very successful or even famous or very wealthy does not mean that he's a high value man. So always prioritize a partner who brings you inner peace, who treats you with respect. And of course, it doesn't mean that you should not care about any other things that are important for you. You can choose whatever is important for you. Men have also their preferences and they are not shy about that. So you can have all kinds of preferences, but don't be blinded by that. Always look at their actions, their character, and especially in specific situations, not when everything is nice and beautiful and without any problems, but in daily life situations, in difficult situations, in situations in which you would need their emotional or physical or whatever support. Small things. Listen to your intuition and stick to your values. Have a set of values ready, a set of things that are important for you, and don't violate your own values. I mean, don't violate your own values for love. Yeah, and I have one sentence that I want to share with you. It's actually a quote. I really love that quote because it really summarizes a lot of things and is very important. And it is, if it costs you your inner peace, it is too expensive. You can apply that to all areas of life. There is a lot of truth in it. So as I reflect on those lessons, one thing stands out. As a woman, we stumble. We make mistakes. Sometimes we spend years on the wrong paths or with the wrong person. But every experience, no matter how challenging, still holds value. These moments shape us, teach us, and ultimately bring us closer to understanding ourselves, who we are and what we truly want. And we embrace our femininity and commit to becoming our best selves. We radiate a unique power, elegance, and grace that makes us deeply appreciated and desired. So together, let's grow, evolve, and celebrate the beauty of femininity and the lessons we've learned along the way. If you have some findings and some things that you have learned along your way, please share down below with all. Thank you for watching once again, and I will see you in my next video.